Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Captain Logan Show. It is I, Captain Logan, and joining me again, he was off last week, but he has returned. It's the prodigal return of DJ Martinez, our wonderful chat moderator and producer. Hi, DJ. Welcome back.
The king has returned.
No, you'll get to be the king. Well, that's okay. I'm the captain. You could be the king. It's whatever. I don't know. I don't know who would outrank whom in that scenario, given that they're two completely different, types of things.
Systems, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
different hierarchies.
If I'm Mufasa, I lose because my movie's coming out this summer.
I was gonna say, if you're Mufasa, you're apparently not even royalty anymore. So
yeah, what the world?
Who cares? Well, that's what you're supposed to do with prequels. Are you aware of the rules with prequels, DJ? Like, this isn't cliche. This is modern convention, okay? This is what's expected of you if you do a prequel. You have to get rid of everything people like about a thing, because it's all ironic, and then get us there in the clunkiest, most contrived, most unbelievable way possible. That's how we do it. That's what Smallville taught us. That's what Star Wars taught us. And all of those things are beloved and not at all maligned to this day. I say as I'm wearing a Smallville shirt.
Well, speaking of shirts, if I may, I got you a little gift because I saw this in a store and I could not buy it.
Oh, it's purple. I see the purple.
It's the most Captain Logan shirt I've ever seen. It is Spider-Man. But if there was the most Captain Logan Spider-Man shirt, this would be it. First of all, it's purple, like you said.
Oh.
It's the 90s logo, classic 90s logo.
Yeah, man.
And then the back has 90s Venom, 90s Scarlet Spider, and Spider-Man 2099.
Oh, you bought it! That's the shirt you sent me a picture of.
It is
man.
The most Captain Logan thing ever.
Thanks a ton. I'm so excited. Dude, as soon as you told me about that, because that's it. Where did you say that was? What store was that?
I found this at Marshall's.
Marshall's. You mentioned that, and I looked that up to see if we had one close, and we did. And I thought about driving out there to get one, and I never got around to it. So I'm really glad I didn't.
Well, and Marshall's is a store that gets like overstock from other stores, so discounted. So there's no way of knowing if you would have got the same stuff anyway.
So that's not necessarily the same product across the country.
Yeah, it's just whatever they get from other stores. So I was like, I'm never gonna see this again. And it was like, what is it? $13. So I'm like, I'm definitely gonna buy this for him.
Aw, thanks, man. That's super cool. And I can't believe it's purple. That's the thing that's
purple
throwing me
Spider-Man
off the most
shirt.
about
Like, that's crazy.
I'm hoping that we never see another one, because then I'll feel like they made one for me. Like, yeah. It's all the 90s characters I like. It's that logo. It's purple. Like, they made it for me. I need to try to. I'm having this problem with T-shirts. As always, I don't want to give too much away, but that is now one of like 5 shirts that I really want to work into the Superhero Rewind movie somewhere. Because you're right, it's way too me. Like, I need to wear that somewhere in the movie.
Hey, if you can, that'll be great. Well, it'll be a movie prop.
And it's a time travel thing. I go back to the 90s in it.
Oh,
so
wow.
I feel like we could get away with pretending like that shirt was in the 90s, but I just don't know where I'd put it. I don't know where I'd wear it.
Yeah, it looks like it came right out of the 90s, so it fit in perfectly.
I got to try, though. Anyway, let me just do some house cleaning stuff real quick, and then we'll get into the news that's fit to print. We have 4 real short lead-in topics tonight. I'm just going to knock them all out instead of waiting for questions about them, because they're just things that I want to talk about that I assume people are going to want to hear me weigh in on, and I'll try not to take half the show with it. I have a tough time with that. I tend to get long-winded, and I have a lot to say. I'll come into a thing and think, I don't have anything to say about this. And then 20 minutes later, I'm still like, I didn't have anything to say about this, but all the time is gone. It's like somebody's following me, stealing time away from me. That's what it feels like when I'm doing the Captain Logan show. But anyway, so house cleaning stuff. Speaking of the Superhero Rewind movie, we are now a month into shooting. We have successfully shot every Tuesday for the last 4 weeks and gotten quite a bit of footage already. We are further along than I thought we'd be by now, and we're shooting more often than I thought we'd get away with. I didn't think I'd be able to get my crew to commit to coming out every Tuesday. So far, all those guys have come to all of them, really, or at least, well, I can't say all of them. There's certain people that are coming when we need them, but I've got a couple of guys that are working with me every single time, and they've been showing up and doing the work, and we've been doing 4 to 6 hour shoots Tuesday night. Sometimes we go till 1 or 2 in the morning, and we've had a lot of fun already. It's already starting to come together. It feels like we've probably only shot 12 pages, but like 10 to 12. Plus some other stuff, and I'm already getting a really good sense of the tone and the feel of it. I already got to bust something on camera. That was fun. We got all kinds of cool stuff going on. We're shooting a really wordy dialogue sequence on Tuesday. I'm going to spend my weekend while I'm out of town. Like, I got to drive 4 hours in one direction, so I'm going to be just working on lines with Jason, memorizing stuff. He's going to feed me dialogue back and forth. So yeah, got a ton going on with that. I'm excited eventually to show you guys stuff. And then right after this program, Austin and I are going to come in and do this week's Superhero Rewind commentary on RoboCop, which I got the Arrow Blu-ray for, and it's beautiful. And DJ, I was looking at that today. I watched that movie twice this week now, because I watched the theatrical cut, and then I went ahead and watched the director's cut, even though it's only a minute longer. And I knew it was, I don't know why they call it a director's cut. It's only a minute longer. It's mostly just more violent, and there's like subtle stuff added back into it. But the main reason I wanted to look at it was just because I watched an old transfer on Monday or Tuesday, and then I wanted to see what that high def Blu-ray transfer looked like, and it's gorgeous. It's the best that movie's ever looked, and it was really fun to get to see it that way. But there's so many special features on that thing. And I haven't had a chance to listen to any of them. I was watching documentaries. Usually I do commentaries. I watched a 4-hour documentary on RoboCop. I did not have time to watch a commentary.
Whoa.
But that thing, DJ, has that documentary, it's a 4-part series. It's actually, I said 4 hours. It's 5 hours long, and it came out last year, and it's awesome. And I'll talk about that when we do the movie tonight. But DJ, that Blu-ray has 3 commentaries on it.
Yeah, Arrow's the best, man.
3. It's ridiculous.
Like, they do so many commentaries. The Conan movies have like several commentaries. The Waterworld that I have has like multiple commentaries on it.
I may have to get my hands on that just out of morbid curiosity.
It's so cool.
There may or may not be a Waterworld reference in the movie. I'm going to give away way too much about this movie before you guys see it, but I'm too excited. I got so much I want to talk about. Ooh, that's pretty.
You got to get it.
And like, I want to say who gives a crap, it's Waterworld, but like I do, even though
this massive book in there.
Have you seen that movie?
Oh yeah, I've seen it several times. The Ulysses cut is on here. I don't know if you've heard about that, but there was not
in a long time. I forget what that is.
Extended TV cut that was on TV forever, and it put back all the scenes back into it, but then that cut out like a lot of the violence and the more adult like language and stuff. So a fan edit, the Ulysses cut was a fan edit that they put together all of the original scenes and the extended cut from the TV edit, and that's finally actually an official release on here now.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool. Not in 4K, but
I gotta look at that.
It looks good.
How much did that retail? Like, is it hard to get, or?
It's sold out now. Yeah, these limited editions from Arrow always sell out, but it was, I think, $60 on retail.
Man, I'd like to see that though. Real quick, because I don't know if I'll get to this tonight. The Rewind Commentary Project is weird because you'll have movies that'll be really long that you don't want to talk about, and you'll have movies that are short that you have 3 times the length of the movie to talk about, and you only have an hour 45 minutes to talk about it. And that's what RoboCop is going to be like. But anyway, speaking of TV edits, there's this hilarious bit, and DJ, I don't know if you've seen RoboCop or how well you know that movie, but there's a scene where there's this guy that holds up a liquor store or a gas station, and RoboCop comes in and stops him, and he's coming toward him, and he's about to try to kill him, and the guy keeps saying "F me" over and over again. Just that's the line. That's all he says in the whole scene. Besides the initial stick up, it's just "F me, F me, F me," and in that documentary I saw, there is a TV edit where he keeps saying "Why me?" and it's fantastic. Like, why me?
That actually makes more sense than the phrase "F me." I never understand like what that expression is supposed to mean. It's such a weird expression. why me is at least makes sense.
Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be like, I mean, I don't know how to say this without being kind of crude, but if you think about it, like, if somebody does you wrong and you're being vulgar and explicit about it, you might say you were effed by that person. So
Yeah.
F me would be like, I'm being screwed, I'm being messed up, I'm being effed, right? So it's
Yeah,
basically
but
like the
saying it as a
worst thing that,
command is always weird.
yeah, that's fair. Well, almost like I'd rather that happen to me than whatever it is that's going on right now. Like I think
Maybe that's it,
maybe
yeah.
that's the meaning of it. You know what I mean? Because it's basically like you are being, I don't know. We're 11 minutes into the show and I'm already being this fun, but it's like if like being raped is one of the worst things that can happen to you, then it's like I'd rather that though than the thing that's happening now. I think maybe that's it. I'm with you. That is a curious phrase, but
It's always been the phrasing of it that is
and
always
this
like,
was my
that's so
analysis
weird.
on the phrase "f me."
Join us next week on After Dark for more analysis of language.
Yeah, apologies to Patreon for not getting another After Dark out. Yeah, we were gonna do one tonight, and I'm out of town this weekend, and I didn't want to put off the rewind commentaries because we're in Batman month, Batmay, and the first one we picked is not a Batman thing, so I wanted to make sure and get at least one Batman thing in this month. If you are a patron or if you want to become a patron, quick plug for that. The $10 tier for Superhero Rewind producers lets you help us sometimes pick content for the show, and we have a poll out right now to pick a Batman movie for next time, and that poll will end at start time for RoboCop, so you still have time to go vote if you want to vote. And I think the movies are Batman Returns, because Austin picked that. It wasn't that long ago that I talked about that. I've done so much. I have nothing left to say, but that is in there. And then Dark Knight Returns is in there, and then Under the Red Hood and Batman Ninja. So three of them are animated, and one of them is Batman Returns. But two of them have returns in the title. So one of those four movies is what will happen next time. Anyway, people are here to hear us talk about the Superman suit and other geeky news things that are going on. We've already got a couple of super chats. Apologies for making you guys wait. I want to get through the news real quick, and then we'll hit those super chats. I don't know if we'll get any Patreon questions tonight because we've got so much to do. But we might try if you still have the ones from a couple weeks ago, DJ, because we still have some from last month that we haven't done. We have a couple of Batman questions from last time that we didn't get to. I would have to pull those up. So if we run out somehow, we can pull up other questions. But we'll try to play catch up and get all that finally knocked out by next week. Anyway,
well, one of the super chats is about the Superman suit, so we can maybe bring that one up in a second.
We could lead with that. I guess I'll get us into that and show the suit. We'll talk about it for a second, and then you can give us that super chat. If you would like us to talk about any topic throughout the show, just give us some time to get through this. But you can leave a super chat at any time in any dollar amount that guarantees that we'll talk about your topic. And if you have other questions, I don't know how many pre-written things we'll get to tonight, but you can tag at DJ Martinez or at Filmed by Color. That's DJ's super cool channel about his superhero movie collection, or his movie collection. I can't say movie without putting superhero in front of it.
I did recently do a video of my superhero.
I know you did, but that's not all the content. He talks about just movies at large and cool physical releases. All I do is superhero movies.
And that keeps your hands plenty full.
Heck yeah, man. And it means that I have to buy more crappy things than you do. Because I have a bunch of movies behind me just like you do, but I guarantee you the percentage of good films behind you right now, and also if I did a movie, if I copied you, if I stole your idea like a jerk face, and I made a different channel that was just about my movie collection, mine would be called Films by Purple.
Yeah. There you go.
That's what I'd call mine.
I'll have plenty of I'll have spin-off channels, one for each color.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, Films by like green would be the tiniest channel because there's no green ones.
I think that could be, this is giving stuff away maybe, but nobody will remember. That could be the April Fool's Day video for next year. As I do a spin-off channel, it's called Films by Purple. I only buy purple movies. I only buy movies with purple spines.
Wow, you'd have a very small collection because it's about 20 films probably.
Challenge accepted. I only collect purple movies and variants of movies I have already, but in purple. Okay, So here is the David Corenswet suit. Much has been made of this suit, DJ. I'm sure you've seen it by now. I'm sure you've seen
I
some
actually
of.
have.
I'm sure you've seen some of the memes where people are chroma keying, taking out the background, putting other hilarious random things
Oh, I didn't actually. I need
in
to
the
look
back.
that up.
That has become a phenomenon this week. We are late to the party because this happened between Captain Logan shows, and sometimes I think we should change the name of the show to Late to the Party.
Yeah, sure.
Uh,
Sounds good.
if I'd thought of that, that might have been the name of it. Because we don't do this every day, and we don't even do it twice a week like we used to. So something like this happens, and it feels like the whole world changed in 4 or 5 days. Like this, like everything, has been massively controversial, DJ. Particularly, of course, with people that are upset about Cavill leaving. I think a lot of those folks, no disrespect to anybody, would probably be upset about this no matter what it looked like, because there's something of a knee-jerk reaction to just we're finally seeing Corenswet as Superman, and those folks are upset that it's not the other guy. So I don't know if it would matter what he was wearing. He could be wearing the Christopher Reeve suit, and those guys would be like, it's terrible, it's cheap, it's from 50 years ago, which is honestly, in a perfect world, more or less what it would be if you were me. But those are not the only people that aren't happy with this. I've even seen, I saw this in the comments right before, and I'd seen this in some other places earlier this week too. I've even seen some people say that maybe Gunn is trolling us and this isn't even real, and it's like, and it's like AI or something. That's a real suit. That
That's a
like
stretch.
he's definitely wearing that. And I don't agree with it's so like bad looking or fake looking or whatever that it must not be real, and we're gonna get to see the real one later on. First of all, Gunn gave us a tease a while back showing the S symbol, and that it was based on the Kingdom Come symbol, and that is what he's wearing, so it's consistent with what we've seen so far. If memory serves, I think that no, I was gonna say that had scuff marks on it. No, it was like in the snow. Which I think was supposed to suggest maybe like Forces of Solitude. Or like he's out around that. I was gonna say maybe it's consistent to the point where we were even seeing like this image because it's scuffed up, but that's not what it was because it was in the snow, and I forgot about that. I like it okay. I'm not big on the lines. I never like these really super over designed superhero suits. I kind of wish we could get away from that. I don't mind the material. I think some people are kind of hung up on like it looks sort of baggy or it's real thick or whatever. I don't mind the sort of like cargo material look of it. I mean, again, in a perfect world, it would just be spandex again, and it would just be a real classic, standard superhero or Superman costume. But like, he's got trunks again, and the belt, so far from what we can see of it, looks more or less. I'm looking at it, not showing it to you guys. Looks more or less like a regular Superman belt. I'm wondering like how prominent the yellow will be outside of this lighting. The hair is spot on. He looks great. The acting choice I'm buying into just as much as I was before. I've not really seen him in much, so I can't speak a lot to that. But just in the suit, he looks good. DJ, do you agree with this? Just in this picture, and obviously people look different at different angles, so like you never know when you actually get into the finished product, and it's a moving picture. When we get to next year's Superman picture, DJ, he looks like a grown-up Tom Welling to me. He kind of looks like if Welling was wearing a Superman suit.
Oh, interesting. I didn't get that. I feel like he's a lot smaller than Tom Welling.
Just in the face. Just in the face. The eyebrows, the facial expression, like he kind of looks like Welling to me. Just in that shot.
Yeah, maybe so. I feel like that's how we cast Superman. I feel like all the Supermen look kind of similar if you line them all up in a row. Like we have this image of what Superman is, and we
not
usually
Helkin. He's a departure.
Well,
but
yeah.
Other than that,
yeah. Yeah.
The Kingdom Come logo is growing on me more seeing it on the suit. I like how big it is. That only works if you broaden it out that far. And I like the way the cape is tucked in at the top. Tucked in or just connected, however you want to look at it. But yeah, what do you think of it, DJ?
I don't know. I'm very mixed. I agree that it's too busy. Like if you're gonna go busy, I like go more towards Cavill's. If you're gonna go classic, I would go more classic. Like if you're gonna do yellow and trunks, why does he have to have all this like armor stuff and lines? And I don't know. It's a weird mix for me.
And it's not
I,
armor material, so what's the point of all the lines?
Yeah, it's just decoration, I guess, at that point. I know you said you weren't in this camp. I am, and I didn't know I don't know what the camps are because I haven't kept up with anybody. I don't know anyone's opinion on this, but the first thing I thought of when you see it's kind of, I don't like the way it like crumples and wrinkles and it looks like it's padding, kind of like the Raimi Spider-Man suit. Like it doesn't look like he fills it out right. Like he doesn't look like a Superman body to me.
A lot of people are saying that, yeah.
It kind of looks like it's just like wrinkling up and it's just kind of like puffy. Like, you know, there's that scene in Spider-Man 2 where he falls and the people catch him in the train and it goes poof, like you can see it's just like this Dollar General muscle suit that just like squishes
yes, and like somebody pokes the chest and it like bounces back. The chest
and their hand just goes into the muscles. It's hilarious.
That's right.
That's kind of what the vibe I'm getting. But he's all hunched over. Like, I don't know. Maybe it looks better when he's standing up and looking more heroic. So I don't know. I'm not judging it yet. But
maybe they're not done adjusting it.
Yeah.
You know, by the time we see that, and like I'm sort of, I don't want to say playing devil's advocate because I'm not, for whatever reason, just with this one picture, like the wrinkle thing, I'm not minding it yet. Like I got to see it in action. I got to get to like the actual movie. There's been so many superhero suits that when we see them in stills, they just don't work, and then you get them in the context of the movie. Having said that, I get why people are complaining about that because this is not a suit like on a white background or on some kind of neutral background. Like it looks like it's lit and colored more or less the way Gunn is wanting to put it on camera. Like he's trying to show you sort of what it will look like, even though it's a still, sort of what it will look like on film in a cinematic way. And if that's what he's going for and people aren't happy with that look, he might have missed the boat with some people on that. But I've got, I don't know, for whatever reason, that did, I mean, you're right, it is wrinkling in places a little bit. It's like it's I guess I don't mind that because I want it to just be spandex, and spandex would maybe have that a little bit too.
Yeah, it's not. I guess it's not even that it's wrinkling. It's just that it looks like there's like
he could fill it out more.
There's like padded muscles. It looks like you can see in there. Like they're kind of like
the
way they're kind of pressing up on his shoulder and stuff. I don't know.
Maybe
it just looks kind of like a. I guess we just have this all the time now, where it just kind of looks like a cosplay to me, just because cosplay is close enough to the same level.
You're saying a lot of stuff I'm hearing a lot of people say. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not like mad about it. I'm going to wait and see.
Sure.
I'm just trying. You asked me my opinion. So
no, absolutely. All valid criticisms. My thing is, and I'm only showing you the picture, the cropped version of the picture. Let me pull up the rest of it. I really like because I forgot there was more of it.
I like how bright the red is, though. I really like.
Yeah, that's great. I think the shade of the blue will be great too when we get out in daylight. It looks a little dark here, but you can tell a lot of it's in shadow.
And it's kind of roughed up too. It's got scuffs and stuff on it, like he's been fighting a lot.
Which is cool. I love the shape of the boots. Like at the top. They're
definitely not shying away from the boots in this version. They're going full.
Yeah, that's cool. But I think I'm also not surprised by the look of it because it seems kind of in line with the suits more or less that we got in the Suicide Squad. Like it seems like he's got a real kind of particular like modern comic booky, like bright in your face way he likes to do costumes. And for Superman, it's too modern for me because it gets a little bit too close to the New 52 thing, but still has with all the lines. But at least it's not actual armor. He's not wearing plastic, so that's good. And you know, it's not like a crappy Power Ranger suit. And he's got the trunks. Which I was hoping for. The big thing I wanted is the S on the back of the cape, and we don't know about that yet. But DJ, I would bet you $500 it doesn't have it. No, I don't think it will. I don't think it'll have
really?
it. Yep. Oh, I bet you $500 that's not on it.
I thought that would be I thought that was like the two things he would have is the trunks and the cape, the cape logo.
I can't even explain to you why, but just something about looking at the look they went with. I don't think it's going to have the S on the back of it. I hope I'm wrong about that. I also think they might decide that the particular version they went with, the S would look weird on the cape.
Maybe so, yeah.
But I hope
I
I'm
can't
wrong
even
about
remember
that.
what the. I'm gonna have to look up what the S looks like because it's been so long since we've done that.
Austin said if they was it Austin or somebody else. I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth. Somebody said they hope that
Oh, there
it's
we go.
kind of inverted on the back, where it's like a yellow S that doesn't that's not
Symbol.
well that it is the symbol, but it's not like the same on the front. That it's just like the outline of the yellow. Somebody said that, and
Okay.
that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I kind of like. I've never thought about this. I don't think I've ever thought about this, but I kind of like that he has a slightly different S on the back because Spider-Man has a different spider on the front and the back.
Yeah, that's part of what I like about it.
That's pretty cool.
But anyway, the other thing to mention, because I put this in the thumbnail, is just everybody's wondering what the heck is going on in the background.
Yeah,
People are making fun of Superman for
it's
really
like
taking his time getting his boots on while the world seems to be ending outside.
yeah, this
With
is like Henry Cavill Superman. What he doesn't want to do. Like this is what James Gunn is trying to get away from. Like
yeah,
he
that's a good
doesn't
point.
care that there's
How
people
much
getting.
collateral damage is happening while you're taking? Now he could be moving in bullet time. You don't know.
Well, that laser has already hit something. It looks like.
Well, I mean, he's not omnipotent,
No, I think this is supposed to be like a metaphor. I don't think it's supposed to be literal. I think it's just I think it's supposed to we're supposed to get the emotions that he's feeling right now or while the world's going to.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm not taking any stock in that. My big takeaway from that is because I'm sure that's supposed to be indicative of the kind of movie he's making, though. Like if Gunn is, and I don't want to try to interpret too much or read too much into a production thing that he put out to get people excited about the costume that is working on some people and not other people. But if he's communicating anything, I guess I'm just saying, like, it would be silly to speculate too much. But if Gunn is trying to communicate anything with that about what's in the actual movie, it's don't worry, it's Superman and it will be a science fiction thing. Like, he'll actually deal with some space stuff. And so that was the big exciting thing for me.
Yeah, that's
just in the window. You might get to see Superman fight something that is not Zod or Lex. So like that's exciting.
You're the only person in the world who would love if we got a Superman movie where Superman is the stinger at the end. We just get a whole movie about Krypton, and then it's like, hey, there's Superman right at the end.
Yes, that's true too. But I mean, I want a Superman that you don't have to do this, of course. But like we've gotten enough Superman movies where he's fighting more terrestrial threats and not as much existential stuff. It would be nice to do a more like cosmic oriented Superman, and given that, and I mean, like, yeah, Man of Steel has Zod again, but I mean stuff that's not Krypton. Superman fights other stuff. And
yeah,
and like I always hesitate saying that because what makes Superman cool is not he's all powerful and so you have to have or like he's insanely powerful, so you have to have something that might be able to kill him, so you have to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm not saying that, but at the same time we haven't done a lot of that stuff. So it would be kind of nice to see it, and Gunn would be the guy to do that, given Guardians and given the Suicide Squad, and given that he made Starro look great, and that would be a cool threat for Superman to fight had we not done that already. So like, I'm all for something like that. But anyway,
he'll do the weirder stuff. I mean, it's kind of impossible for Snyder not to do Zod in his Superman movie because it's Snyder, but Gunn will do the weirder, less action-heavy stuff.
Well, and we know we're gonna get a Green Lantern in that movie. Like we're already touching the cosmic sides of all that stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, I said I wouldn't take up half the show with this, and we're already half an hour. And see, I don't know where the time goes. I don't know what happens.
Father Time is a sneaky bastard.
Let me kind of blow through the other things I wanted to mention. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. You said Super Chats about this.
Yeah, we had one from MP. Wait a second here. Why is that coming through like that? It's from Bag Studios. I don't know why when I copy and paste. Oh no, here we go. The next Bag Studios, we'll get to yours in a second. But from MP about the Superman suit, he says the Superman suit is eclectic in its design influences. I think this is an indicative of Gunn's approach to DC, draw from a wide variety of eras and media.
Yeah, 100% agree. That's right. And I hope that if the movie's good, he manages to win, a lot of people, over on that don't love it. And aesthetic is not everything, of course. So like
Yeah.
if the story's great, if people really like the portrayal, if it resonates with them, you know, with a Superman that like finally feels like a real person that cares about people and isn't just letting a bunch of people get killed on the street because it's all about Lois, then maybe they won't mind that suit as much.
Yeah, the first Avengers movie has a terrible Captain America costume, but he's the best part of the movie. Like he looks
Great
terrible in
point.
the movie.
Yeah, I don't like the Tumblr design on paper. But that's the example I always go to. But then I went to Batman Begins and I love it's flying on rooftops. So whatever, like it just and like I don't even love that suit. Like it's all black. It's too bulky. It looks like it weighs 200 pounds because it probably weighs 200 pounds. But the movie's great, so I didn't care.
Yeah.
And then that just becomes part of the charm of it.
Somebody said that DJ quote needs to be on a T-shirt. I don't know what he's talking about, but thank you for the compliment.
Yeah, I don't know. We've said at least 2 or 3 sentences since then. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what quote.
We talk quick here on the Captain Logan show. We just talk a
Not
lot.
quick enough. Okay, let me go ahead and move on. People are feel free to ask or mention more things about that if you want me to come back to it. This just came out today. Yes, today. This is from IGN. Batman Cape Crusader animated series gets premiere date and first look images. This just came out of nowhere, DJ.
Yeah, I haven't heard about this in forever.
Yep, it's been a while, and the series is going to drop August 1st. So we've only got 3 months on this, which is exciting.
Wow.
And I'm not sure how I'm going to cover it yet. I don't know if I'll review just the first couple episodes like I often do, or if I'll do what I'm doing with X-Men 97 and do commentaries on them. I don't know yet. And by the way, X-Men 97 is done next week, so Jason and I at some point will come back and try to knock out the rest of it in commentaries, maybe in 3-4 episode chunks. I'm not sure how we'll do it yet, but
Man, you are having your year with animation. This is awesome.
it's pretty exciting.
X-Men ends and the Batman revival, or not revival, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of similar.
But it sort of feels that way because it's
Yeah,
Bruce
yeah.
Timm and it's other writers and producers that I have loved on Batman all coming together to make a thing. So in a lot of ways, it does feel like a reunion thing. So this has been confirmed to be a 40s period piece, although I thought we more or less knew that already. And if you have not heard about this or you don't remember, the people involved are Bruce Timm, Abrams apparently. I mean, I don't know how much he's actually involved with this, but his name is still on it. And Matt Reeves. And I think Rucka is supposed to be writing on this. And some, at least another name or two that's not coming to me right now. But let's see, Brubaker is apparently involved in this too. Maybe not Rucka, but Brubaker is listed in this article. I don't know why I thought that. So I either heard that somewhere months ago or I made that up. I'm not sure. Anyway, grain of salt. That's not in this article. But it's going to be 10 episodes just like X-Men 97. And confirmed characters include Batman, shocking, Selena Kyle, Harley Quinn, Jim Gordon, and Clayface. Their period Clayface looks really cool. Let me show you some pictures here of these stills that we got today.
Harley Quinn, that's a little weird. Here's
their Catwoman, and they're completely reinventing her. Well, keep in mind that it's a Bruce Timm thing, so he's going, well, I co-created that character, so I get to put her in the 40s. He basically came out and said that. There's their Clayface. He looks super cool. I'm wondering if I'm assuming that he doesn't actually, like, full-on change shape, that he's like the Clayface that has, it's sort of like False Face where he does disguises, or maybe he can just mold his face but not the rest of his body. I don't know, but this gives you a sense of what the animation is going to look like. It is very Bruce Timmish. It reminds me, DJ, of some of the early direct-to-video DC animated movies, particularly New Frontier. And we'll look at their Batman in a minute. Yeah, he looks a lot like the New Frontier version.
Oh, they changed the gloves to black. They chickened out. Cowards!
That's exactly what Austin and I both said. Yeah, I feel the same way about it. But the consolation price for me is that A, they are gloves and not gauntlets, and B, he's got the super tall ears. And I love super tall Batman ears. I love how completely impractical that is. And I wonder if he
Straight out of the serials. That's so cool.
yeah, it's neat. Well, in early comics, they were tall like that.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping is that we go as far as the serials do, or at least close, DJ. Where like if he goes under a door and he forgets to duck, they just like fold.
Yeah, they're just made of foam. They
They're
look
just
like
made
the,
of foam.
the new Superman suit. They're just like.
Yeah, that'd be great. And then I think we had a picture of this already, but he's come out. Bruce Timm has come out and talked more about what she's gonna be. But this is their Harley Quinn. And
Whoa.
I don't know if they even have a Joker. Like, I'm wondering if this is just going to kind of be their Joker, at least first season. By the way, it has already been renewed for a second season, so we know we're going to at least get two. And again, this is
the builds on these female characters. I noticed in the last shot you showed me too, like that lady had a gigantic jaw too.
it's kind of odd. But this write-up says Harley Quinn is a creepy, quiet, calculating menace who secretly despises her twisted justice. Dispenses, her twisted justice to the truly despicable among her elite clientele. So it sounds like she's going to be almost more of like a mastermind, kingpin kind of character. And Bruce Timm said they wanted to flip it this time, where she's kind of more fun and bouncy and outgoing when she is before she becomes Harley Quinn. And then when she has that transformation, she's more cold and calculating. And there's supposed to be like a juxtaposition where she dresses like a clown, but she's like as serious as Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I'm going to feel about that, but that's what they're doing. I'm just reporting it.
Interesting. Well, the character model sure has the shoulders for it. There's a stocky Harley Quinn. That's definitely the stockiest Harley Quinn we've ever seen. No, this looks awesome. I'm actually excited. I don't even care about Batman, but this looks really, really cool. This is my kind of Batman. Now we just need a Fleischer Superman-esque show. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I still want that. Well, once again, like I've told you before, there's so much Fleischer in the original animated series, and this is just taking that even further and putting it, period. But that show's already so out of time that like parts of it seem like they're in the 40s, because that show it's really funny because they have really advanced technology, but also the TVs are all in black and white for some reason.
Yeah, I think I've seen some Riddler, or at least a Riddler episode where he's got like crazy technology, but. Yeah, that's funny.
Yes, but then he's got a video game that he invented that is all in black and white, but also has like kind of it doesn't have 3D elements. What am I talking about? Anyway, so that's the news on that. I'm excited about that show. I think like the animation doesn't look like it's doing anything like with new pushing envelopes or anything. Like I said, it looks like some of those early DC movies, but. We'll see what they do, like with stylized, shadow work and that kind of stuff. And then just before the show tonight, I thought those were really the only things I was going to talk. I'm going to mention one more thing real quick. But as far as superhero stuff, I thought that was always I was going to be mentioning. But DJ, I guess we can't have a week where something MCU comes out, and this is actually kind of exciting. So. We had a lot of mixed reactions when we talked about the female Silver Surfer thing, where some people are like, well, who cares about the gender? Maybe it'll be great. And some people are really upset, or at least sort of resisting it at first, like I was. But this is very exciting news, and I'm hoping that they win me over on the Silver Surfer thing, because everything else we're hearing about Fantastic Four sounds really exciting. We have a actor for Galactus. So first of all, it's full on revealed now that confirmed now that we've got a Galactus, and that he's not just going to be in the background, or at least I doubt he will, because we're casting him this early. And also, if it was just a voiceover, I don't know that we would get a casting this early, DJ, because they often do that at kind of the 11th hour. This suggests that he'll be on screen some, and that maybe they're even going to use him past the Fantastic Four movie. I'm kind of predicting that we'll get Galactus in Secret Wars. But anyway, this is an actor that I'm not familiar with, but I went and Austin knows him. His name is Ralph Ineson. And he's been in Game of Thrones, and I don't know what he is in Harry Potter. This mentions that. But one of the more recent things he did was The Witch, and I watched an interview with him talking about that movie, and hearing him for 10 seconds, I went, holy crap, that's just correct. If you listen to this man's voice, it's amazing how like deep and booming it is, and like effortlessly booming.
He's the Green Knight in the Green Knight.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh, you got to watch the Green Knight. It's so good.
How recent is that?
2021. My favorite movie of 2021, except for Tick Tick Boom.
Okay, so you know what his voice sounds like.
Yeah, he plays a big green monster tree man. It's perfect voice.
Oh wow. So like, I don't know. I've not actually seen him act, but just based on that voice, he sounds perfect.
Yeah, and I don't know how much effects they're putting on his voice in Green Knight, but if they're not, he has an awesome voice.
Yeah, just in an interview, it sounded otherworldly. Seriously. So anyway, I can't help but be excited about that. I'm now gonna go try to watch a couple things that he's in because, of course, Galactus is one of my favorite things, so I gotta know. And then finally, the other thing I want to mention, just real briefly, feel free to bring any of these things back up in the few minutes we'll have remaining. Variety put out an article, and I'm not going to read all of this, but this is interesting. Do you know about the new streaming bundle that was announced this week, DJ?
Oh no, I'm out of loop on streaming stuff.
Disney Plus, Max, and Hulu bundle.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. So what this suggests is that all these companies are finally getting smart and realizing how hard it is to make money when you're expecting people to have 42 different streaming services, and companies you never thought would be able to work together and make a contract together are putting together something closer to the like global catch-all streaming service that everybody wanted in the first place with Netflix. And it's hard to say how great of news this is because we don't have a price point yet. According to this article, it right now to have all three of those services, and there already is a Disney Hulu bundle, of course, but for folks that don't keep up or don't know what we're talking about, with Disney Plus and Max, that means Disney and Warner Brothers are coming together to do a thing. That by itself is kind of crazy.
Oh man, Dwayne Johnson is finally, his plans coming together.
That by itself is kind of wild. Austin was like, maybe this is one more step in the potential for Disney to acquire Warner Brothers. I don't know if I go that far, because I kind of think, and we're seeing a lot more consolidation. Obviously, I hope that never happens. I think anything is possible, but I don't know if this is indicative of that possibility, just because these companies are desperate to make this model work. And the for a long time, up until recently, the refrain was cut out the middleman. And now it's, I don't know, we don't really make the money we were hoping we would with this whole thing, but we've got all these cord cutters, we've got all these people that aren't doing broadcast anymore, and we've taught them to leave that. So what do we do? So, and I agree with Austin on this. He and I had a conversation about it, and he said, well, so it looks like we're just getting closer to going back to cable, but with streaming. And that's exactly what this looks like. So the question is, how much cheaper is this than the $36 it costs to put those three things together? Are we going to see anybody else come on board later on? Netflix will be the holdout forever. You'll never see Netflix, I don't think, make a deal with any of these other services to have a package deal that includes Netflix. Am I right that there's not anything that does that right now? That, like, if you want Netflix, you get Netflix.
It feels like they are pretty stubborn.
Well, they to be fair to them, they were first to the party, and if you're the big fish in the pond in the first place, you're trying to, I'm not saying this is right, but you're trying to keep it as close to a monopoly as humanly possible. And like, of course, that's what they were doing and what they're still doing. So I imagine that they will be the last holdout. If more companies start coming together. My prediction is you'll see 2 or 3 other services come together on this. I think it's entirely plausible that Paramount Plus does it.
If anybody wants them.
Well, they've already got a package thing with Amazon, which means if they did it, I guess Amazon would probably also have to, and they may not want to do that either.
Amazon's weird, though.
So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Because HBO you can also get through Amazon. I don't know how it works. Because Amazon you can kind of get anything.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the opposite is true. Maybe they're the most likely to get on board with this. And then I think you'll see Apple jump right into it as fast as humanly possible, because they have a service that I'm always hearing about good things on that hardly anybody I know has ever subscribed to except for DJ. So
yeah, I don't have. Well, actually, we do have it currently because Ted Lasso. I mean, Ted Lasso is huge, so there's a lot of people that watch it for that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know where that was.
But that's why we have it currently, because Grace is showing me that show. But yeah, Apple and Amazon will be the 2 of the top because they have income coming in from other things, not in the film industry. Like they've got the most money otherwise.
Precisely, yeah. And then we haven't really talked about the big like likely merger that seems to be about to happen with Sony and Paramount. Do you know about that?
Mm.
Uh, Again, just all this consolidation, and that sounds kind of scary to me for lots of different reasons, but not as scary as if Disney got either of those things. But anyway, let's go ahead and start moving through super chats
All
and
right.
answering questions, DJ. Feel free to throw more stuff in. I'll go as lickety split as possible because we took as long as we did on those articles. And away we go.
All right. I'm gonna send you some Green Knight clips later so you can hear this.
Ooh, exciting! Thank you.
What do we have? Bag Studios first.
I'm stoked about that. Just to know that Galactus got cast early enough that he's probably gonna be a real big part of that movie. Now, that article said Fantastic Four has its villain. That is naive. There's no way that Galactus is the only villain in the Fantastic Four movie. And we know that, who was it? Was it Ray Fiennes? It was like somebody else got cast as a villain, but we don't know who yet.
Oh, interesting.
So it's just weird that article mentioned it that way. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. I will find it. I will find it.
He will find it. Yeah, you gotta check out Green Knight. Just watch the whole thing. It's great. You got Dev Patel. You got Barry Keoghan. It's great. Really good cast. All right. Shall we roll on, or are you gonna find that?
Oh, Malkovich. John Malkovich is gonna be in it.
Oh, perfect. I hope he doesn't take me out like in Dune Part 2. I love him, but
I still haven't seen
man, did his voice take me out in a couple scenes. What the heck is his name? Max Schreck. I can't think of it right now.
Oh, Walken, yeah.
Yeah, Walken is playing a very serious role in Dune, and he does what pretty good most of it, but every once in a while he'll have a Walkenism, and I'll be like, whoa, that's super weird hearing those words.
So you're afraid John Malkovich will also be like that?
Maybe because he's got such a recognizable voice.
But I mean, it sounds like that's gonna have quite the dynamite cast and the eclectic cast. Speaking of movies, real quick, I'm real behind on stuff. I never reviewed Dune 2 because I didn't find the time to go back to the first one again and get to the theater, and so I'll try to get to that at some point. It's old, nobody's gonna care now, but people asked at the time, and I just didn't get to it. But then my most anticipated movie this year is Apes. And
soon.
Well, it's this weekend, and I'm
Holy
watching.
crap.
Yeah, it's like you can go to the theater right now and see it. It's Thursday, but I'm watching through those, and I've got to go out of town this weekend. So the very earliest I'll be able to review it is next weekend, but I will get to that as soon as humanly possible. And then for the 5 people that will care about this, Connor and I are still planning on reviewing the second part of Rebel Moon for the sake of completion.
Oh,
Because we did the first one.
perfect.
And it was a fun conversation, even if it was, kind of like losing your soul watching it. But I don't know, it's got really some hilarious things. I don't know, that movie. It's baffling. It's absolutely baffling. I can't even talk about Snyder anymore.
That's why I said last show, man. I wish he would have just went out on top, because every time he comes out with the movie, it just makes it worse.
Oh man, me too. Yeah. All right.
Should have stopped at his peak movie Sucker Punch and left. All right.
Sure.
Let's finally get to this Bag Studios question that he asked.
No, his last thing should have been Watchmen. That's it. You're done. You're done, son.
Just a 3 and done. All right. Would our world today use replicators and transporters responsibly? And how?
No. Obviously not. We don't know how to use anything responsibly.
Internet responsibly.
Our whole culture is just a cautionary science fiction tale. Like we live in call me cynical. I'm sorry, but I don't care. We live in a post-apocalyptic nightmare. No, it's not quite that bad. It's not apocalyptic, but it's nearing toward a dystopia. There's too much kind of 1984 you can see in us now. I'm talking about RoboCop later. We're way too close to some stuff in RoboCop. That's kind of sad. So yeah, when I was growing up, a lot of cynical or kind of cautionary science fiction was about over-reliance on technology, and that's just all we do. And it's like the faster we develop it, the quicker we use it before we're ready for it. So if we had replicators right now, I mean, it would solve a lot of problems, if they worked like they do in Star Trek, because you would have basically, as long as you could come up with enough energy, you would have inexhaustible resources. So you would eliminate hunger potentially. You would eliminate the need for like fossil fuels if you could replicate. If that was a thing you could replicate. In Star Trek, there's some like biological things that you can and can't replicate. Mostly for the sake of dramatic storytelling, DJ. Where if something if sometimes we just make something precious arbitrarily so that it's harder for our characters to achieve what they want to achieve. But the problem with replicators in our society is by the time we have them in the more utopian future of Star Trek, we've already eliminated profit motive. So if we had them in our society, they would probably be hella expensive and not everybody would be able to get their hands on them, and it would just create more inequality. So like it would solve some problems, but it would probably also widen a social class chasm, I would imagine. That would be the problem with having it now, is I feel like we want to learn some things about ourselves, get more enlightened before we have that kind of very powerful technology, because it could be used to manipulate people. And that's what kind of scares me about that idea. And transporters is exactly the same way. It's like you think flying in an airplane is expensive. If we make it so that only the super rich can have transporters, or if even worse, we make it a commodity that only the government has, that we have to like rent or use like a.
It would be the new private jets.
Yeah, sure. Or I was gonna say, if it becomes like a utility, you could make it so expensive that only the very rich could even have that utility. Now it could be like the internet, where we get to a point where just everybody expects to have that, and there's too much of a demand for it. But I mean, there's a lot of demand for air travel, and a lot of people can't do that now. I mean, some of that I guess too is just that is expensive already. Like it's maybe not. I don't know enough about like what it costs to fly people around, but like plane tickets seem more expensive than they have to be. I don't know that they really are. I mean, jet fuel is very expensive, obviously. Manning a crew is expensive. There's a lot of I'm getting in the weeds with this. There's a lot of liability and stuff. So, like, I get that to some degree. But if transporters were as safe as they are in Star Trek, I want to think that it wouldn't, that you could put them everywhere and they wouldn't have to be, real expensive to use. But I don't trust that they wouldn't be, because it makes somebody a lot of money.
Yeah. Tom Atkins.
You shouldn't ask me that question right after I watched RoboCop.
Tom Atkins wants Cap to say hella more often.
Okay, I'll work on that.
So if you could work that in.
Yeah, that's one of those one of those kind of slang things that I put in front of, like, expensive or rich, and almost no other word. I'll be like, that's hella expensive. But I don't know that I put it with anything else. I think it's just that.
You're not walking around talking about how hella dope things are?
No, I don't know that I've ever used the word dope before.
Sounds like a Captain Logan word.
No, I like boss. See, the thing is, I like to go for outdated slang that the kids aren't using anymore, and for lack of a better way of putting it,
I'd say dope is definitely outdated at this point.
Yeah, here's the thing. I still hear people use it, like, in an endearing way, and they don't get made fun of for it. So, like, not to put too fine a point on it, but, like, boss, I don't feel too white to say. Dope, I feel too white to say.
I guess I think you got to be a little bit somewhat ironic when you're using dope. I don't think anyone uses it like super sincerely anymore.
So now I'm just going to start judging people, I think, now that you said that, because I know people who do.
Oh, interesting. And well, we live across the country, so it's different.
That makes me wonder if I should judge those people. Okay, moving right along.
All right, Mutale, better Bendis run, Ultimate Spider-Man or Daredevil? Ooh.
Wow. For my own personal taste, I'm gonna say Daredevil. And I have not finished either of those runs, but I've read a good chunk of both of them. And I think Daredevil is a little bit more consistent quality wise. Like there's whole sections of Ultimate Spider-Man that I feel like are big kind of misses. And I feel like Daredevil does a better job of keeping track of its continuity and not having as many contradictions. And nothing against Bagley, but I think I like the art in that book typically a little bit better too. But some of that's just taste though. Like those are very different things.
They're very different things.
And
the art
Ultimate
goes with what it is.
Yeah. And Ultimate is a lot less spread out. It's less decompressed than Daredevil. So it does have that going for it.
Ultimate is very like arcy. Like it's like short arcs instead of like one overall story.
Yeah.
Which it is, but it's like 6 issues, done. 6 issues, done.
That's right. And his Daredevil is less that way.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I haven't read that stuff, so I have to go with Ultimate, but I've heard it's great.
You should. It's good. It's good. And I should finish it.
Great and Powerful Dodd, 199.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot a gong.
Oh,
okay, go ahead. I missed the gong. I need something I can shoot at the gong. You know,
like a little slingshot. You got to get a slingshot.
That'd be good, or like with koosh balls.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't thought about a koosh in forever.
Yeah, I'm old. It's fine. It's fine. I'll reference Pogs again here in a few minutes. God, how are we already at 57 minutes? I'm sorry. I will try not to.
Could you also throw a troll doll at the gong at some point?
Well, I mean, I could throw anything I wanted to, really. I've got all kinds of random crap here on the desk.
Smite it with the Pure Midas staff.
Oh, that's a good idea. What I'm worried about is breaking stuff, though. I got to be kind of careful about that. Anyway, I'm sorry. What's the question?
All right. I just watched, speaking of, so this is the most random thing ever. I'm the only one that would think of this, but we just watched Mary Poppins today with the kids for the first time. One of my wife's favorite movies of all time, and I loved it this time.
Mine too.
Her umbrella has a face on it that talks to her like Saba.
Yeah.
It looks just like Saba.
I had the same thing. Yeah, and it doesn't
We're
have
the only
British...
two people that thought of that.
I guess everybody has a British accent in that, but it also has a British accent like Saba.
Yeah, it's like the only thing I could think of when she was talking to her at the end of her handle. I was like, it's Saba.
And you're just imagining Mary Poppins pulling out a flute that goes da, 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 da.
Yeah, or White Ranger just like pulling out an umbrella and flying away.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
All right, so Great and Powerful Dodd. I wish McAvoy was Cassandra Nova. Your thoughts?
I don't know what to say about that. I don't.
Just because he's played bald characters before, I guess.
Well, Cassandra Nova is a clone of Xavier.
Oh, okay.
So he's thinking it should be McAvoy.
Well, he could. He's done that before in Split.
Oh, wait, yeah, that's true. So I guess McAvoy and Drag doing. Okay. Yeah, respectfully, I would rather a female actress play that, but I guess it could work. I would find that very distracting.
Great and Powerful Dodd wants to take all the roles in Hollywood away from women and give it to men. That's how it should be.
I want to move on now. Can we do that?
Do we have
any other super chats?
Sure do. Would you rather read a Daredevil? He's really on Daredevil.
Oh, it's today. A would you rather. We should do another one of those.
Yeah, heck yeah. Would you rather read a Daredevil comic by Tom King or Alan Moore? Also, have you watched My Adventures with Superman yet?
God, that keeps coming up. I saw it the first couple episodes when it came out, and I haven't gone back to it. And it didn't grab me real hard. I thought it was fine. And I didn't watch long enough to have a real great impression of it. So nobody come after me. I know people really like that show. And I was actually looking at numbers at that today, of that today, because I feel real isolated. Apparently, I don't talk to enough different people to have a good sample set of how popular things are. And of course, we always talk about this, but like there's so much vying for people's attention that we don't have those things that everybody's looking at anymore. Although X-Men 97 does kind of feel that way. Like that has been in my face online and with people like so much. And everybody rightly so, it's good. But like that hit in a way I don't think Feige and Disney and those guys even expected. But that's kind of an outlier. I didn't think anybody was watching that show, and I didn't realize that it was, or I had forgotten, one of the two, that it's airing first on Cartoon Network. and apparently it's actually done really well for them. That's been kind of a hit.
Wow.
So, and the second season is supposed to air, I think, in a couple of weeks. That's about to start. So I may try to catch up on that. I said like, why do people keep having to bring that up? Because I kind of feel bad about not seeing it, but I actually appreciate that people keep mentioning it because then maybe I'll remember to actually sit down and watch it because I just keep forgetting about it. So I'll try to do that. Maybe I'll grab Jason and see if he'll binge it with me. And we can do something on that at some point. Maybe we could do a commentary night on that at some point. Probably not blind. I probably want to watch it first, but that particular thing. Oh, speaking of mini marathons, originally I said that I put this off a couple weeks now. Originally, I was going to say I said that tonight we would do the super chat goal for blind commentary on Knuckles. I decided not to do that tonight because I didn't want to go on too much longer than the hour since we've got the rewind to do tonight, and I didn't want to keep DJ too late. So we will finish up here in a few minutes, but I just wanted to mention, I will try to do that finally next week.
Cool. Mutale, better. Oh, sorry, we didn't answer the first part of his last one.
Oh no, I'm good at that.
A Daredevil comic by Tom King or Alan Moore?
Oh, Alan Moore, definitely. I mean, because King is very hit and miss, and like he might turn in a great Daredevil thing, or it might be awful. It just kind of depends on what mood he's in and what ideas he has for that character. But I think an Alan Moore thing would be fascinating. I mean, I don't know if I care about it now, but like back in the day, if he had done a run on that, I would have to think a little bit about, what I think he would even do with that character. I don't know, but I don't have time to spend more time on that. So anyway, DJ, do we have any more super chats?
Yes, we do.
Sorry, we're past an hour, and I'm very distracted now. Go ahead.
We got people are yelling at me and you to get on the Discord again.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. When I get sucked into Discord, I have a hard time getting much done, and we've got a baby in the house, and I'm making a movie, and I don't mean to make excuses, but like I get very distracted by that, and so that's why I've been kind of I don't know, radio silence for a good number of months, really, on Discord. Occasionally I'll pop in, but I try not to spend too much time on it.
Yeah, that's the same reason I just had too much going on. I miss you guys too, though. But Mutale wants to know, better cosmic event, Annihilation or Conquest?
Ooh, I can't speak to that. I didn't read both of those. And I don't know, did I ever read... I think I've read Annihilation. It's been too long. People are always like, oh, here's where you reviewed it. It's just been too long. But yeah, I can't speak to that because I don't know if I've read Conquest. Sorry about that.
So, final answer, Annihilation.
I'm rusty on those. Yeah.
And then we have another one from Mutale. Mutale is really on the comic questions tonight. Very cool.
I'm sure I'm disappointing him in spades, but go ahead.
Better Gwen Stacy, Amazing, or Ultimate?
Wow, that's
Ultimate,
that's tough. I mean, one is loosely based on the other, right?
Yeah, well, I would say Amazing is a little bit, but she's definitely more classic than Ultimate. Ultimate goes a totally different way with her.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I want to say like
Ultimate's kind of opposite of a classic Gwen Stacy.
No,
because they flip them because MJ is the friend that he's always had, and
yeah, that's true. And she's got more of that kind of like goth thing going on.
Yeah, she's like a punk rock girl.
Punk rocker, yeah, there you go. Which is probably where the idea for Spider-Gwen comes from in the first place. I never really put that together.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, she's got a rock band. That's probably why, right? I never really thought about that.
Yeah,
can I cop out and say that's a tie? Like, that's really hard to answer. Because I really like her in that book. I don't want to give away big plot points with that in case people haven't read it, but...
Yeah, well, there's a reason that it would appeal to you specifically.
Well, no, actually, that's not true. I never knew how I felt about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, because he's a very different thing in that. He's totally different.
But she's totally different. But I don't know. I like how spunky she is.
Yeah.
I think I like her better than their Mary Jane.
Yeah. Well, same thing with, I mean, we don't even get a Mary Jane and Amazing,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
because she's so good, we don't need one.
No, but
oh,
she's so likable in that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. I like both.
Yeah, it's tough. I'd probably have to lean toward Amazing, but I haven't read Ultimate in a long time.
That's my thing too. Is I'm rusty enough on that I'm hesitating a bit. But like gun in my head, I'm actually probably saying Ultimate. But that's just to be contrary because I don't like to agree with DJ.
Yeah, we hate each other behind the scenes. You should have seen it before we got the camera rolling.
Yeah, DJ frequently says if only we were in the same room so that I could punch you in your face.
Just wait till I come be in your movie.
He doesn't like the lack of intimate physical violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, DJ is talking about trying to maybe make a trip. So that yeah, we no idea if that'll work out, but I'm trying to get him in the movie. I'm trying to get DJ as involved in the movie as possible in some way.
We do have one super chat that got left behind, so thank you, Robert, I think, for bringing it up.
Oh, thanks, man.
Billy the Kid Lawrence.
Yeah.
$4.99.
This will be the end of the show. Go ahead.
I think the new Superman clearly looks jaded and disillusioned because aliens probably blew up his favorite food joint, White Castle. That one, that got me. That was a completely different. That was a left turn.
Look, anything is possible, okay? Like, I don't want to review the movie before we have it, okay? But probably not White Castle. I don't know how I feel about a Superman whose favorite restaurant is White Castle.
Yeah, that's like Thor from Endgame Superman.
Yeah, I sort of want him to have better standards than that. Be a little classier in his restaurant choices. Where do you, and he doesn't have to be like super upscale, of course. Like Superman tends to be pretty modest about things, and it's not like he's super rich, even when he's got a good job as a reporter. But like, I don't know, where do you see Superman going to sit down for dinner? DJ
as Superman or as Clark?
As Clark. As Clark.
Okay. I don't know.
Where do you see Superman wearing that costume?
I don't know, Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, it's probably not a chain thing. He probably really likes Thai food.
He would go to like a ma and pop, like hole in the wall shop, I would think, like a diner. I could see him in diners.
Yeah, he'd go to a mom and pop Thai place.
Yeah, exactly what I was envisioning.
That's where he'd go. Okay.
Yeah, I would think if he grew up on a farm, he likes like Southern classic cooking.
Don't say IHOP. Don't say IHOP.
No.
He goes to IHOP for dinner and he goes to Sears for his lawnmowers. Because they still have one somehow.
Oh, it's a Sears outlet.
It's a Sears outlet. All right, on that note, we're going to get going. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We sure appreciate it. We'll be back again next Thursday night. We'll try to catch up on some of the Patreon questions, pre-written stuff. And if you are so inclined to stay up late with Austin and I, we're going to move right on to RoboCop here in about 15 minutes for the Superhero Rewind commentary project. We'll try not to do too much preamble with that since we're starting so late. But if you can't stay up late on a Thursday, never fear. It is, of course, going to be recorded. You can look at it later on. That is our 20th episode. And we're excited that we've been able to make that many of those already in about a year, DJ. I might have liked to have been at like 24, 26 by now, but I feel pretty good about that number.
Yeah. We're doing what we can. It's not the heyday, but we're still going strong.
Oh man, don't say that. That's gonna light a fire under me. I'm like, man, that makes it sound like I'm real past my prime. You just said we're not the heyday. I'm like, oh, we better get it. We're gonna get back to the heyday, sir.
All right, Tuesday show's coming back next week. You heard it first.
Don't say that. That's what I'm making the movie. I have to memorize pages of dialogue for that shoot.
I'll just be asking you questions while you're shooting. Just be on set interviews.
You know, we've kicked around doing a Patreon perk where we put up some behind the scenes footage or we even live stream one of them. But I just don't know if I want to give that much away, like even to the patrons.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could just be as transparent as James Gunn.
What do you mean?
just, I don't know. He seems to be just anytime he thinks of something, he tells the world about it.
Tells everybody about it, yeah. Well, and that's not me going like, oh, I want to withhold it and not give everybody anything. I just hate to give too much away and ruin it for people. That's all I'm worried about.
Yeah, if I mean, yeah, I wouldn't give away like spoilers, but
if I'm streaming a scene we're shooting, that's by definition spoilers.
yeah, I don't know how you'd handle it, but it would be cool to at least shoot behind the scenes stuff, so you can like do a featurette when you release the.
Oh yes, and we're shooting as much of that as we did for Spawn Year, at least percentage wise.
Okay, sweet. I'm looking forward to my special edition 4K Blu-ray combo pack slipcase limited 5,000 run.
We'll probably give patrons the special features and stuff early, but we're not gonna do a print run of this for lots of reasons.
Yeah, you would lose money.
I just want to mention that again because folks have donated, and from the beginning I said we're shooting this more like a fan film. So you're not helping us make a thing that's commercial. You're helping us make a thing that is a glorified, very complicated YouTube video. I don't know, man. For you guys to enjoy. And part of it too is then I can be a little bit more relaxed about copyrighted material. And of course, I'm not going to be crazy about that, but like, I don't have to worry too much about it if I'm not monetizing it.
Yeah.
And it being a movie about superhero movies, it's really hard to skirt completely around that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it gives me a little bit more creative license to talk about and show more stuff. Is all I'll say. But I mean, it being Superhero Rewind the movie, it's very much about the history of superhero movies.
I don't know, man. You could be missing out on a Superhero Rewind the movie, the hella dope version. Put a banner across the top.
Arrow, please release my movie. All right, we got to get going. Thanks a lot, everybody, for being here. We sure appreciate it. And once again, Austin and I will be back in just a little bit. I was Captain Logan. This was DJ Martinez. DJ, thanks for helping me out with this as always.
Good to be back.
You guys are wonderful. I got rid of the